energetic or ethereal level?
Well, of course, an energy line is not visible through the naked eye, but it is visible to the devices that he was working with. So he's actually able to measure to see that the energy actually was moving apart.
And was there a recording made of this?
No, not a recording, only, just an interview of the people. However, the thing that was the most interesting is Blue Arrow Rainbow had contact with extraterrestrials during this meditation. Mm-hmm. And the comments they made was, "We don't understand you people at all. Mm-hmm. Here we've gone and we've created this beautiful geometric pattern for you to enjoy, and all you're doing is trying to verify, is it a real one or not?" So that was the basic message that she got. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
but it would have seemed that the extraterrestrials would have provided more information, like proof of their existence, or what their purpose of doing these crop circles.
Well, I don't want to be judgmental of the government agencies who should be tracking these things, but there's many UFO researchers I've met who said they have more than ample proof of the existence of UFOs. I mean, just look at the Roswell case.
Well, if you ever have a UFO researcher with ample proof, send them our way.
Okay, definitely.
We want to interview him,
actually,
or her.
Actually, the person you should bring on is the son of Jesse Marcel. I forget his first name. He still has the material that his father recovered from the crash site.
Okay.
So that would be my recommendation.
Now, these crystal skulls, besides buying them online, are there any place local you can buy them?
Well, yeah, here in Chicago, my friend Steve Rosley at Rosley's Gems and Rocks, he sells crystal skulls. So that's where people can go, or they can come on our website, and I don't know if you'll be able to give that out later or not.
No, people can watch the credits at the end.
Okay.
I'm sure our audience is pretty astute. They can Google Joshua Shapiro.
Yeah, if you just Google my name, you'll find us. And on our website, we have a way also where people can get crystal skulls too.
Okay. So do you sell crystal skulls yourself?
Not directly. I have a contact in Brazil, and I just send people to the contact in Brazil.
Okay. So how I assume that a crystal skull doesn't come out of the ground looking like this.
Correct.
So are there videos of crystal skulls being made?
I don't know if they've actually filmed one of the carvers who are making them, but I've visited them and I watched what they do. They use diamond tip tools like saws and wheels. Mm-hmm. And through the use of those tools, and of course being very creative people, they're able to actually duplicate now very accurately to a human bone skull. Mm-hmm. So this is the way in which they're making them. But I mean, it wouldn't be very difficult to find a carver who said that he would like to be filmed, so it is possible.
And what are some of your more incredible or unbelievable crystal skull stories?
Well, I just visited with the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull in March. It was around this time that we were being interviewed for the Sci-Fi Channel. Bill Holman is the caretaker of the skull.
Okay, so were you in a documentary film?
I was interviewed for the Sci-Fi Channel, but they didn't show my interview, but there was one done by the Smithsonian Institute in Channel 5 in the UK that I was on, and also, I can't remember, on Fox News, Hannity's America. They also came to my house here in Prospect Heights. And I was on there for about 2 or 3 minutes. So there were a couple of shows that I appeared on.
Okay, so you're telling this incredible story.
Yeah, so what happened was I went to visit with the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull. And as unbelievable as it may sound, since I've been involved since 1983, so that's like over 25 years, I never really had a chance to just sit with it privately. So I'm very good friends with the caretaker of the skull, Mr. Holman. So he allowed me to come to his house.
Is he caretaker or owner of it?
We don't like to say the word owner. We like to use the word guardian or caretaker because we believe the crystals pick us. We don't pick them. So as Mr. Holman says, and I would say the same with my skulls, if they don't want to be with me, then they'll find their way to be with somebody else. So I think, so this is why we say a caretaker. It's kind of like our job, we bring them around. So anyway, I had a chance to sit with that one. I took this big one, facing it face to face, and these two small ones were behind, so it was forming kind of like a triangular. And then what I had is I had my MP3 player where I put all my favorite music, because I'm also a musician. I play guitar and I have songs I've written. I do ad-lib songs. That's my #1 thing. People just give me subjects and I make up songs. And I will admit one time I did that and they threw me out of a place here in Chicago, but that was when I was very young. But anyway, I really love music, and my most powerful meditations are with music. So what happened is I was able to pick the songs to meditate with, and I believe that I had the opportunity to have a brief experience for about 20 minutes of what it would be like to be in heaven. I could have sat there with that skull forever. I would have been totally content. It was so peaceful and so loving. I mean, it was just like I was in another world.
Now, were you seeing images of the light or hearing any
voices?
No.
Each person who is involved in the spiritual or the metaphysical has their own gifts. I'm not a visual person. I feel energy, I hear things. So I was feeling like unbelievable energy around me. It was.
And have you experienced that since?
No, and I've never experienced it with any other crystal skull I've seen, and I've seen quite a few. I mean, some of the ancient ones and old ones too.
Well, what you're describing to me, I would classify as what psychiatrist Stanislav Grof called a non-ordinary experience.
Yeah, but see, with the crystal skulls, it comes up all the time. So for me, they're ordinary experiences.
Okay. So everyday experiences.
Yeah, it's an everyday experience now. That's the beauty of working with the crystal skulls, is you never know what's going to come up or who's going to be contacting you or where you're going to wind up going.
And how often do you work with your crystal skulls? Is it something you do every day?
Well, not every day. I don't work with them directly, but they are around. And actually, what happens is once you've had them for quite some time, if you agree to allow them to be shared with the public, then they'll start working more with other people than with yourself. Because for me, what happens is they represent like an energy, and I've already integrated that energy inside of me. So I don't need to have them around me. I can just think about them and have a conversation with them, even if they're sitting in the bag.
Now, do you believe it's good for people to handle their skull or be in, have some direct experience with the skull before they purchase one?
I would recommend that, yes, although that's not necessarily the case. I mean, there's a lot of people I meet that never had any interest whatsoever in crystal skulls, and one just came on their path. Or they saw the Indiana Jones film or a documentary, and they just got this wave, oh, I got to go see one, and they can't tell you why. It's just this strong inspiration. It was the same for me. I was going to a bookstore in San Jose, California in 1983, and I wasn't going to meet crystal skulls, and they put a picture of this amethyst skull there, and that's what started me. And then I saw it, and my life changed forever. But I didn't realize in the moment when I agreed to see that skull that I would be traveling all over the world and writing books and creating movies and documentaries and all that.
Now, are you aware of any negative or harmful experiences with the crystal skull?
Well, there are some people who have not felt comfortable with them, but what I believe is the crystal skull is a catalyst for bringing out inside of the person their full potential, and a lot of times when you bring out the full potential, there are blockages. The crystal skulls have a habit of kicking those blockages out. So in a way, it's a kind of healing, but it may not be a pleasant healing. It's like a cleansing. A lot of times people will go through a cleansing, they'll be very emotional or just nothing will work in their life. It's because they're going through a transition. To me, that's a healing. So I believe the crystal skulls are immediately able to feel vibrationally who the person is, and they send out an energy to help that person to become greater.
Now, do you ever use crystal skulls to do a reading for a person, like tea leaves or astrology?
Well, the sessions that I work on, and I will be doing sessions in Springfield, Illinois after the show in a couple of days, is I have the crystal skulls sitting in the sessions. And what happens is people think that the skulls are telling me the information to share with the person, because I do kind of like an intuitive reading, but I feel more that they're there to send an energy to that person and to create an environment so that the best information that I can share can come. Normally, the information is coming either from their spirit guides or from mine.
Okay. And how long does your crystal skull session last?
Normally it goes for half an hour. So the person first meditates with music, with the crystal skull of their choice, and then I do the consultation.
Are they meditating with your music or someone else's?
I use Pachelbel's Canon in D. Sometimes they will ask for their own, but Pachelbel's Canon in D is such a wonderful piece of music that most people really like it.
Now, do people ask for specific guidance?
Yes.
Is it a verbal conversation?
Yeah,
like
it's a verbal conversation.